to make sure you don't miss the sage advice from the handicapper extraordinaire, Kevin Stone, on What's the Line? And here is your handicapping guru, Kevin Stone.
Morning, Tom. Little overcast out here on this incredible Final Four of the College Football Friday.
Yeah, I was thinking it was a golf Friday.
Oh, was that what?
I was thinking it looks like good golf weather.
Nah. I wouldn't want to be out
who
there
wants to watch football? I'm tired of football. These bowl games, they've been on just ad nauseum. The COVID starting third stringers and everything. I'm over it. Can we just talk about college basketball starting? Can we talk about that?
COVID will probably affect that too.
Well,
so,
So yesterday, pretty good. If you like football and you like compelling games, yesterday was pretty good football.
Had a couple.
First off,
the first one.
Let's start with a game though that explains exactly why people should sit out. You had a Heisman finalist,
right?
The quarterback at Pittsburgh, Pickett.
Yep.
Heisman finalist.
Yeah.
Decided to sit out the Peach Bowl.
Broke all Marino's records.
Decided to sit out the Peach Bowl.
Yep.
He was up in the booth with the coaches.
Sure was.
Headset on.
Sure was.
Second string quarterback comes in. Opening drive, drives him down 16 yards from the goal. He takes off on a quarterback scamper, gets in the end zone. As he crosses the end zone, he gets hit, tackled to the ground, lands awkwardly on his left shoulder, dislocates the shoulder, goes into the locker room. 2.5 minutes into the game, he comes out in a not a splint,
but the harness.
The harness, that holds your arm in.
Separated shoulder. Third string quarterback in the game, and everybody now you know
Pickett
why.
looks like a genius because
right.
Pickett is he is projected to go in the top 15.
Yeah,
and he's projected. When you're a top 15 draft pick, your signing bonuses are everything.
Yes,
you're a Heisman finalist.
Yes, sir.
If you injure your shoulder in your bowl game, even though it's your non-throwing shoulder,
right,
it's still a shoulder. Now he may have failed to the third, fourth round. By sitting out this game, and there's no guarantee he'd have injured his shoulder.
No,
but this is an illustration of what could happen.
Right. That's right.
By sitting out of the game, he quite possibly saved himself millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah, it's kind of no brainer
in a game that means nothing.
Right. When you're that, you're not in the Final Four. It's it's a no brainer to me if you're that high of a pick. Now if you want to go back, some of these guys are third, fourth rounders.
But people will say that's the problem with this playoff.
Yeah.
Is it makes only the playoff important, so people sit out these games that aren't important. That these bowl games are now no longer important.
No, I disagree with that because they were doing this way before that.
Way before
they had a playoff. Yeah, exactly. So, a lot of and that you could, they say, you get an insurance policy, but the insurance policy on yourself, is not going to ever.
I'll give you a prime example.
Pay that kind of money. So
1982.
All right.
There's a running back that was leading the country in everything. He was quite possibly, arguably, with Bo Jackson, the greatest college running back ever.
Herschel Walker.
Ended up 5th on the all-time NFL rushing list, only because they didn't count the first 3 years in the USFL.
Right.
Okay?
Right. That's crazy.
We're talking about Wrightsville, Georgia's own Herschel Walker.
Herschel.
And he goes, his mom and his dad and him, through advice of the coaching staff at Georgia, reach out to Lloyd's of London.
Gets an insurance.
To get an insurance policy in case he gets hurt his senior season.
Yeah.
Now, Herschel ended up making millions and millions and millions of dollars.
Right.
His insurance policy would have paid him $2 million.
$2 million. And he didn't play a senior season.
No.
He was the first person that I can recall.
He's the first undergraduate to get drafted.
To go
and then
out
did it by
to
the
leave
USFL.
early. Yeah, and then the NFL that wouldn't take him back then.
Right.
So he had to go USFL,
but he
really kind of
he had the insurance policy.
He kind of wanted to go back to college.
If he'd got injured,
he'd
only made $2 million with that insurance policy.
Yeah, I know.
Now I'm sure by now the insurance policies are more about 10, 12, 15 million.
Either
but
way,
still, you get 10 million because you got injured, and you turn down the ability to make maybe $200-300 million.
Yeah, hundreds. Not even comparison.
So I understand why Pickett sat right up there. Look,
Kenneth Walker did the same thing for Michigan State, the running back.
I'm a proponent of team.
Yeah.
And you do things for your team, but once you become a junior or a senior and your draft status is so high,
right.
that it is generational money changing.
That's exactly right. Yep.
And you're playing in the Peach Bowl, or you're playing in the Cure Bowl, or you're playing in the Pool and Weed Eater Bowl, or you're playing in the San Francisco County Credit Union Bowl, or you're playing in the Alamo Bowl,
the Gasparilla
Bowl, the Who Gives a Damn Bowl.
Hey,
I'm not playing either if there's a possibility of me getting injured.
No.
Cost me millions and millions of dollars.
No, I agree with that. It's not a
now if you're
poor teammate or
if
anything.
you're on Alabama, Michigan, Georgia, or Cincinnati,
You're
you sit
playing.
out. Now you're a quitter.
Yeah,
You're
playing.
You sit out that
because it means
game,
something.
It
right.
means something.
Right, yeah. But the other ones, I mean, these bowl games, it's amazing that it didn't get canceled. Is what I, because
COVID's canceling everything.
Well, I heard if they just had a Moderna Bowl, I guarantee that would not be canceled for COVID.
No, Pfizer Bowl.
Pfizer Bowl.
Oh,
it's not. We are playing it no matter what. We'll booster you up and
then
get out on the field.
One team's hot that they didn't get a win.
Oh, the NC State.
Hot.
Oh, NCAA.
NC State said, "Hey, we were there ready to play. Just because the other team had a COVID outbreak, why is it not a forfeit?
Yeah.
Why is it a cancel game? Why don't we get the win as a forfeit?"
That's right. He said, we did our job.
We did our job.
They didn't. Hey, we beat them to the field. So we beat them.
You know what? I'm not thinking he's wrong.
No. What did he say?
They canceled the game, so it didn't happen. No, we were ready to play.
That's right.
That's a forfeit.
Forfeit. Yeah, and that's what they'll call it in the Final Four.
We get the bowl. If you
but
can't
thank
play
God
in the Final
we made
Four,
it to today. We made
if
it.
you
to
can't
today.
play in the Final Four, it's a forfeit.
Yeah, but we made it.
Every other bowl game, they just canceled it. What a forfeit.
No, I know.
I need that bowl trophy in my trophy case because that helps me as a recruiting thing.
They should get it. Yeah, and
but they're not.
There's no doubt about that one.
They're not.
So
So yesterday, the best game of the day and the best game of the bowl season so far, and maybe one of the best bowl games ever.
Yeah, I know where you're going with this.
Ended on a field goal in overtime to win 48-45. They had scored 4 touchdowns in 3.5 minutes in the fourth quarter to get it into overtime. Tennessee.
That one looked over. Yeah.
Tennessee and
blew that.
Purdue, thank you. Purdue, who had already beat 2 top 10 teams in the year.
Top 5s, I think.
Top 5,
yeah.
Ohio State and Michigan State.
Yeah.
They beat Michigan State at number 3, and Ohio State, I think, was number 5 at the time.
Yeah.
Was it Ohio State? No, was it Michigan State?
It was.
Or was it Penn State? It was some Big Ten team.
Yeah, exactly.
That's all I know. I know Michigan State was ranked number 3 when they beat Michigan State.
Right, they beat Michigan State. And I think
they
the other
beat
one was
2
Penn,
top 5s. I think it was Penn State. Yeah.
I think it was Penn State.
So this game is nip and tuck, and then Tennessee on 4th and goal.
Yeah.
Goes with a running.
2 fourth downs.
Goes with a running play.
Yeah.
The running back's feet never stopped moving.
Sure didn't.
His feet were churning, but his body got to the 1 yard line. And it came to a stop. I don't care if his feet were churning. He wasn't making any forward progress.
No, he wasn't.
To the point where his offensive lineman, who was in the end zone, ran back and grabbed him by the shoulder pads and drug him into the end zone. Yeah. Well, the referee said, no, his forward progress was already stopped. Everybody's saying, no, his feet were still churning. His forward progress. I don't care how much your feet's churning. If you're not making any forward headway, your forward progress is stopped, no matter whether you're running in place or not.
Hence the term progress.
And so... And everybody goes, well, Tom, you hate Tennessee. I do.
You do.
Okay?
Yeah.
Great to hate Florida State, better to hate Tennessee.
But still.
But this was not a touchdown.
You're right on this.
And somebody goes, well, the whistle sounded after he crossed the goal line. In replay, they don't even hear the whistle.
You don't know that. Yeah.
But they don't even hear the whistle in replay.
Yeah.
No.
So
and by the way, because he said forward progress was stopped.
That's it.
There's no replay anyway.
No review anyway. Exactly.
So Tennessee loses 48-45 in a very good football game that was marred by that controversy at the end. That really should have been a controversy, in my opinion.
No, it wasn't. It was, Purdue, hey, if you're Tennessee, don't let them come back on you.
That's all I'm saying.
So
Same thing in the Michigan State game. If you don't want Michigan State to win, don't let them come back on you.
Don't 21-0.
Yeah, don't let them come back on you.
In the fourth quarter. So
let's get into the card.
All right, let's do this, man.
Let's jump right in. We got the Chiefs, the Kansas City Chiefs, at the Bengals.
Yeah.
The line is Kansas City -5. The over-under is 51. This could be one of those games because Joe Burrow and the Bengals, they're playing pretty good football, and they're really good at home.
Yes, they are, yeah. Well, first off, man, I'm going to preface everything from here on out with a disclaimer. And due to COVID and the
Don't take anything this
and
serious.
due to the ridiculous protocols that have been in place, everything is literally crapshoot. And none of my analysis makes a bit of sense anymore. I mean, I'll pick a game on Friday. We did this last week with a bowl game. By Tuesday, I mean, it's my own fault for picking a game 5 days in advance, because by Tuesday, Mississippi State they played the game with zero defense.
Right.
Listen to this. The top 4 defensive ends were out of that game. Not the top 2.
The top 4.
The top 4.
Right.
They had 20 minutes before
and you
the
never
game.
know. You never know
So,
with the protocols in the NFL.
Yeah.
Who's going to be in the game? Who's not going to be in the game?
You don't. So many things change.
So what are you doing with this game?
With this one though, I'm going to stick with the over 51.
I think the over is a good. I think both offenses are very good in this game. I think the over is the way to go. Look here.
Yeah, these two teams.
I may put a little bob on the Bengals on the money line.
I wouldn't.
They play very good at home. They play very good at home.
Yeah, Kansas City lately averaging 39 a game in their last 3 games, and we know the Bengals. They put up 41 last week. Another 2 or 3, 4 weeks ago, they
which
put
is
up
why the
another
over-under is
41.
over 50, because
51. Yeah,
anything
That's
over
big.
50 in the NFL is a huge number.
That's large. Yeah. So 41
so you're
points.
taking the
twice.
over.
Yep, over 51 with the Chiefs and the Bengals. I like a lot of offense.
Then we got ineptitude and the Patriots. The train wreck, dumpster fire, whatever you want to call the post-Urban Meyer reign
Hot
in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
The Jacksonville Jaguars travel to Gillette Stadium to take on the New England Patriots. By the way, the New England Patriots that, except for the Buffalo Bills, are the best team probably in the AFC right now.
Yeah, other than the Chiefs, I think.
And I don't know, the Bills are pretty good.
You think that? Okay.
Wait,
the Bills are kind of
what happened
up and
last
down.
weekend? What happened last weekend in the Bills-Patriots game?
Yeah, they went in there and won that one. But
who won the game?
You know what? The time before that,
But who won the game?
the Bills.
Okay, thank you. So the Jags at the Patriots.
That doesn't.
New England's a 6-point favorite. The over-under is 41.5. The over-under is 41.5. I bet you're taking New England -6.
Minus 16.
Oh, it's -16.
Did
Oh,
I
that's not
put
-6. No, I just missed the one because I couldn't believe it was -16.
Yeah, 16.
But you're still taking the 16.
I'm going to lay that 16
Of
all day.
course you are.
Hey, the Patriots, yes, they've lost their last 2 games to the Colts, to the Bills.
Two pretty good
Darn
football
good.
teams.
They have good. Those are playoff teams,
Right.
You know, and might go far in the playoffs.
Jacksonville wouldn't be a playoff team if they were playing high school football.
If they were playing Reigns.
Yeah. William M. Reigns would beat William M. Reigns or Reebok right now would beat Jacksonville.
Bowles would probably give them a game.
Bowles would beat them.
Yeah, but before those two, all right, you had the Patriots had covered 7 in a row. All right, against the spread. Jacksonville hasn't covered a spread 6 games.
I think wait, was Mark Brunell the quarterback last time they covered?
Jimmy Smith and Keenan were on there.
Wait, Byron Leftwich, was he the quarterback last time?
Yeah. He's
Who, by the way, is
he's
pretty good
their
offense. He's going to be the next head coach.
Yeah. Well, it just feels to me like the Jags have completely mailed this in. Blown out last week, blown out 2 weeks ago against Houston. They've lost James Robinson for the year.
And their quarterback is more in tune with doing shampoo commercials for Subway than he is playing football.
I just feel like they're playing for the number 1 overall pick, and that's
they had that last year. How'd that work out for them so far?
2 years in a row. You know, as long as they don't,
or 4 or 8.
Yeah. They won't have Urban Meyer blowing Travis Etienne.
So you're taking New England laying the 16, and you don't think it'll be that close?
I think this one gets ugly early, and New England blows them out. And 16's a lot, but blowouts have been happening in pro football this year. So.
Speaking of a game that could get ugly early.
Yeah. Oh.
Number 4 Cincinnati against number 1 Alabama. Alabama's a 13.5-point favorite. The over-under is 57.5.
Yeah.
And I've said on record, if Alabama wins the toss and they go on offense and they score, and it's 3 and out to Cincinnati, and then Alabama scores again, turn the TV off. Go watch Perry Mason. Find Law and Order on the WE network that's running the marathon.
Forget about it.
Because there's no reason to watch the rest of this football game.
Game over. Hey, you think Alabama's been getting some rat poison this week? Let
me tell you something.
The rat
Nick
poison.
Saban's been working now for 3 weeks on how to figure out
27 days, 25. That's one of my points. Maybe it's just me, but anytime you give Nick Saban 25 plus days to prepare, forget about it.
Sorry about your luck.
We're not talking about the 2018 Clemson game.
And I talked to Galen about this morning. He disagreed with me. I said, Galen, somewhere there's assistant coaches or somebody that's been saying, we're going to spank these boys because we're going to prove they have no business playing with us.
Yeah.
They're non-Power 5. There's a Power 5 elitist that said, okay, you got your chance at the dance.
Yeah.
And now we're fixing to spank you so bad that nobody else wants a chance.
Kind of like, maybe when, these teams, Sister Jean, or the
directional schools.
Yeah. Or but even in basketball, the Loyolas, they'll make
mid-majors.
a run.
Yeah.
They'll make a run. But when they get to the real Final Four, and then they're playing the Kentucky the North Carolina,
but they have a better chance at running than this does.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. But I'll tell you what, man.
Cincinnati,
you brought in coaches, Fickle versus 2 former pro.
Right. 12 football
coordinator.
games. 12 football games this year.
Yeah.
Cincinnati's undefeated.
They are.
12 football games.
They
haven't
lost by 14, I don't think.
In 13 games, Alabama's lost once.
I know.
Once.
I know.
You know who Alabama lost to?
Jimbo Fisher.
A Southeastern Conference Texas A&M school at Texas A&M.
By field goal on the last play of the game.
You know who Alabama's beat, though? They beat Auburn. They beat LSU. They beat Georgia. They beat Mississippi. They beat Mississippi State.
They're beating a lot.
All of these teams that are good.
Oh,
you know who?
Good?
Cincinnati, 12-0. You know who they beat?
Houston.
They beat Notre Dame and 11 directional schools.
They beat Houston, who beat Auburn. And by the way, Alabama, you've beaten all those teams that you just named that they beat. Those are non-bowl game winners. By the way.
Doesn't matter. They're all playing the SEC.
Yeah, they do. They do. It's night and day.
The SEC
Not
is
even close.
like 2 tigers in a cage. They eat their own.
But I feel like with the bowl game, that's kind of – we'll get to that later. We are going to get to that.
So
I
take it you're taking the 13.5?
I'm going to lay that 13.5. I'm just like you. Congrats to the Bearcats for what they've done this year.
They deserve to be there.
They've had it incredible. They should. That's absolutely right. They should be there. But now your reward is going to get
your reward is
a curb stomping.
Your reward.
By the Alabama
your reward is
Crimson.
You're the cleaner at the zoo and you stuck your arm in the cage. That's your reward. Carol Baskin's going to talk about how you ended up being tiger food.
In the words of Chris Rock, that tiger didn't go tiger. That tiger went tiger. He didn't go crazy.
No.
Tiger went tiger.
Tiger went tiger.
The tiger.
You're fixing to get curb stomped by an elephant.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen here.
Yeah.
The Alabama elephant is fixing to curb stomp the Bearcats.
Bryce. Oh, man. Forget about it. Jameson Williams, sorry.
Now, in the game that I think will probably be the best of the 2 football games and maybe one of the best bowl games of the year.
I agree.
The University of Georgia coming in as the 3rd-ranked team in the country.
This one.
After their embarrassing blowout to Alabama in the SEC championship game.
Yeah, they got
plays number 2 Michigan, who goes from 5 to number 2 by beating Ohio State.
Yeah.
And somebody goes, "What do you mean they won the Big Ten conference?" That game didn't count. Nobody cared that they won the Big Ten. They beat Ohio State.
Iowa. Yeah, right. Okay? That was the Big Ten championship.
It was Michigan. No. Michigan's season will be remembered like when we think about the 1980 gold medal winning U.S. hockey team.
Yeah.
We don't think about they beat Finland in the gold medal game.
No, we think about the Russia.
Think about, do you believe in miracles?
Yes.
Beating the Russians in the semifinals.
That's right. There wasn't a final.
We don't think about beating Finland in the gold medal game.
No.
Nobody thinks about Michigan beating Iowa in the Big Ten game. It's in the Big Ten championship.
If anybody remember the Red Sox, who they beat in the World Series after they came back from 4 against the Yankees.
3-0 against the Yankees. I have no idea who they beat.
It was St. Louis Cardinals, but
the Cardinals?
Nobody.
And I have no idea.
I know. Nobody cared. Nobody watched it.
Michigan is in this game because they beat Ohio State.
Yeah, and they deserve. Oh
and
man, boy, that's a good team.
But Georgia's a 7.5-point favorite.
7 and the hook.
And here's the thing about this game.
Yeah.
The number 1 rushing defense, the number 1 rushing offense in the country.
Right.
They're in the top 3 in every category of running in the country. Is the Michigan Wolverines.
And then,
the number 1 school against the run on defense.
Yeah.
In the top 3 of every category against the run in defense, the University of Georgia.
Something's got to give.
For Michigan to win this game, they're going to have to throw the football, which is against what they do.
I think they will.
It's against what they do.
I know.
But if
Harbaugh,
if they try to run the ball, if they try to be the Michigan that got that, if they try to do what got them there,
by the way,
they're losing this football game to Georgia.
Well, they do have a head coach that knows a little bit about maybe working an
He
offensive.
just figured out how to beat Ohio State. How much does he know?
Well, he knows about passing. He is a quarterback.
Well,
former quarterback.
Some people will tell you the reason he's a coach is because he wasn't very good as a quarterback. Those who can't do teach.
I feel like he was a darn good NFL coach, and
but he wasn't a very good NFL quarterback.
No, he wasn't. But hey, that miracle, that little heartbreak kids that beat the Steelers.
I pointed out the other day. I go, he wasn't a very good NFL quarterback. Somebody goes, well, Frank Reich wasn't a very good NFL quarterback either. And I go, no, he wasn't. They go, but he has the greatest comeback in the history of college
and pro. Yeah. Trent Dilfer. A lot of people don't think he was a great quarterback, but they got Super Bowl rings.
Brad Johnson. Hey, remember? Yeah. Who was it? Who was the quarterback in Atlanta that went to the Super Bowl when Dan Reeves was there? Was it?
Chandler?
Was it
Chandler? Chris Chandler?
Yeah. Believe me, there's been bad quarterbacks in the Super Bowl.
They didn't belong there. Minnesota was the best team. But
so
anyway,
you believe Michigan will throw the football on Georgia?
Yeah, man. I think they'll have the ability.
Exposed.
Cade McNamara. Yeah, exactly. Georgia DBs.
They've been exposed. Awful. Alabama showed you how to beat Georgia.
They did. That's what scares me.
Alabama didn't even run the ball.
By the way, going into that game, it was Georgia, bar none. Hey, is this one of the best defenses ever in college
history? Alabama threw the ball and ran tempo.
41 points later.
They threw the ball and did it with tempo.
They did it.
So they wouldn't let Big Boy off the field.
No, Jordan Davis.
Couldn't get off the field.
Gassed.
There were times when the ball was snapped, him and the tackle would just stand up and have a conversation.
They were talking about the after party, I think.
Because he couldn't move.
Hey, man, this one really, really tough. I was back and forth. I am the most jacked up about this game, though. This one reminds me of like the way that Georgia and Oklahoma.
Now let me tell you, Kevin is a Georgia fan.
I am a Georgia fan.
He has
my
dad Georgia football on.
My daddy is born and raised in
Georgia,
in South Georgia. So
Charlie's a Georgia fan.
Yeah. I was ready. First ever football game I went to was Georgia, Florida.
Right.
Yeah. So
no, it's Florida, Georgia. By the way.
It's Georgia, Florida.
It's Florida.
Back in the '80s, it was definitely Georgia, Florida.
It's Florida, Georgia.
But man, hey. It's
don't
like
do
this.
it. Don't
it's like
do
this. My heart
don't
and loyalty always going to be with the Dogs.
Oh, here he goes, folks. Here he goes.
Tonight, my money is going to be with Michigan.
So you're taking plus 7.5.
I'm going to take that 7. I might get a win-win. If Georgia wins, but they keep it within they only win by a touchdown, I get paid, I'm going see man. See why I'm working?
I think Georgia wins this game.
Yeah.
But I can,
low scoring.
I can literally see this as a 13-10.
I'm going under
17-14.
Yeah.
I could see this game as a 9-6 game.
Nah, it ain't going to be the national championship from the
Alabama LSU. But I can see it that way.
Nah, it ain't going to be that.
If I'm betting this game,
under 45.5.
I'm buying 1.5 to take it to 47 and taking the under.
Hey, tease it. And get
6 points.
Get Michigan up to about 13.
Get Michigan up to 13.5.
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea either.
That's what all right, man.
Idea. So you got that. So we go over the card again. You got Chiefs and the Bengals. Over 51 in that game.
Yes, sir.
The Jags at the Patriots. Patriots laying 16 points. You think they could lay 20 points and still win the game.
So 60 points.
Right. So take the minus 16 in New England. Cincinnati at Alabama. It's a good year, Cincinnati. You're going to get boat raced.
Congrats. But
we both think you're going to get boat raced. Take Alabama minus 13.5.
330.
And then UGA at Michigan, even though you're a Georgia fan, you're taking Michigan plus 7.5.
Yeah, and it scares me. If Alabama beats Cincinnati, I mean, even as a Georgia fan, I'm like, do I really even look forward to that? I've seen that movie before.
You know, David Pollock said yesterday.
Oh, God, I love him.
If Cincinnati gets confidence and keeps it close by the fourth quarter, it may be a different thing. And I'm thinking, David Pollock, are you still taking shots to the head? Are you strapping it on and going out there and practicing with the Georgia team every now and then?
He's got.
And then he, of course, took Georgia. He took Georgia.
Of course. Well, hey, man, linebacker.
He knows he's still got to go to Athens every now and then for reunions and everything. So,
exactly.
Hey, Kevin, Happy New Year to you.
Thank you,
Hope
man.
you have a great
too,
New
buddy.
Year. We'll see you next Friday on the other side of the New Year.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Y'all have a great
This
one.
has
Happy
been
New Year, everybody.
What's the Line? Happy New Year to everybody, especially from the good folks here, the ownership at WOCA. We extend the happiest of New Year's to everyone within our listening audience. We'll be back Monday, more with Ocala Talks, and next Friday, What's the Line with Kevin Stone on WOCA. The Source.
Dogs on top.
OCA AM, W242 CAFM, Ocala, The Source.
USA Radio News with Lance Pry.
The Los Angeles police officer who fatally shot a 14-year-old through a wall as a suspect was attacking another shopper has been identified as 42-year-old William Dorsey Jones Jr., a veteran cop with the LAPD. Hundreds of homes have been lost after 2 wildfires started and grew quickly Thursday as high winds whipped through the Front Range in Colorado, forcing tens of thousands of residents from their homes. Clint Folsom, mayor of Superior, Colorado, on CNBC last night.
It's a dire situation here. We've still got a mandatory evacuation order in effect. I'm doing a tour of the town with law enforcement right now, and we've lost a couple hundred houses, and they're still actively burning.
The hardest hit were Superior and Louisville, Colorado. The U.S. Census Bureau has Louisville at about 21,000 residents and Superior at 13,000. Both are located between Denver and Boulder.